Hi, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna show you how I recreated the synth sound from the song Gemini Feed by artist Banks. It's the song that opens her 2016 album called The Altar, and it's such an iconic opening that I really loved it, and I wanted to reproduce it just to practice some sound design, but I was so happy about the result that I decided to share that with you. So let's listen to the original first. And now to my version. So first step was reproducing the same line, which is a pretty simple B minor arpeggio like that. Repeating over and over with that nice syncopation. Then let's dive into the sound. For this video I used a nice plugin called Faceplant by a company called Kilohertz. It's a beautiful sound design tool, check it out, but these principles apply to any kind of synthesizer. Now step 2 is choosing the right starting point, and I chose the analog sine wave form because it sounds like a sine wave, and I set the envelope with the fast attack, fast decay, small sustain and relatively fast release time, not much amount of gain. From now on I suggest you to use headphones or very good speakers because I'm gonna get into details. I set the phase at 120 degrees because the attack sound changes according to it, and I wanted this parameter to modulate. So I used this modulation space here to set an LFO in sync with the BPM and setting the timing at 2/4, which is half of the bar, and I mapped it to the phase of the sine wave, and I tweaked it with it a little in order to make it sound smoother in the higher part of the arpeggio. It gives a very nice life to it, nice movement. So now I focused on the attack of the sound, which is a crucial part of it. If you go back listening to the original, it has a very distinctive attack. So I added some noise with this third shape here, pitched down 60 cents, and I increased the harmonic content. The gain is not high because I didn't want it to be aggressive, and I routed it to the lane 2 because here on Faceplant you have different lanes for different chain effects. And the last thing I did to make this attack shine a little more is adding this smooth overdrive with the 30% mix. This is with noise and overdrive, and this is without them, so you hear the difference. And now we can move to the FX chain in the lane 1, which is where the sine wave is rooted. I use this EQ to scoop down a little of the middles and the bass. Then I use this multipass here, which is a tool that allows you to treat different frequency ranges with different effects. Here I wanted to saturate the sound only in this portion of the frequency spectrum, so I put the saturated mapped to an LFO in a similar way than I did with the sine wave phase movement. Then I put the disperser. This plugin does really something unique to the attack and the transients. You can really do interesting things with drums, kicks, toms. It rotates the phase of the transient and it moves the frequencies in time and space, creating a kind of sweep. A little like a filter, but definitely like nothing else. It's the first time I see something like that, and I was pretty impressed by this disperser. In this case, I just wanted to give some weight to this frequency here in particular, because if you listen very carefully to the original, you really feel this weird D sharp resonating, which is strange because the B minor chord has a natural D, and it's a very important note of the chord. And yet this D sharp gives the sound a cool color and character. Let's listen to it with and without the disperser. After that, things were pretty simple and straightforward. Some limiter, a drop of reverb and some high-pass filter here. And then on lane 2, where we mapped the distortion and the noise, I only gave some attack to the transient. Now, I could have been pretty satisfied with that, but I was not. I'm a perfectionist, because I hear that on the original track there's probably some additional treatment, probably in the mastering stage with some analog gear, I don't really know. So I just hear a little more saturation and some compression over there. So I went on the channel and put some additional plugins out of the Faceplant just to frame it perfectly. I put this very popular saturator called Decapitator, then the Pulsar MU, which is a great glue compressor, my favorite glue compressor, and another touch of EQ to get some loudness with this Puig Tech by Nomad Factory Company, and then another additional limiter by kilohertz in the end, just to even everything out. And let's compare the sounds again. So I hope that's been useful for you. If you want me to focus on something in particular for next videos, just write me or comment here, or feel free to subscribe to my channel or visit my website. And thank you for watching.